needs to be, clarified
Right,
for that,
a lot
so.
of people are thinking the same way you were, and it's not true. So, or it can be, I mean, if the city says, no, we don't want our chairs voting, I mean, I guess they could certainly say that. I wouldn't
Yeah,
expect it, but.
they probably need to clarify that, because I'm going with past presidents, and also look, for most of the other stuff, it's just from watching the council meeting over and over again versus other committees, so you're kind of taking some of those rules, and so, but those, from what I'm understanding, for the council meetings, I mean, there's some of those rules, because they set them, are a little different than the committees. So if they are, we need to clarify what the chairs can and can't do, and so on.
Yeah, and see, of course, Robert's Rules of Orders doesn't go through whether you're part of the OMA or you're just a committee advisory. The meetings are operated the same way. So it doesn't. The meeting itself is conducted in the same fashion. So it's just the size of the committee that determines what your formal rules are.
Okay. All right, it's 2:02. Is Georgina still on the line? Do we need to call her back?
I'm going to pull her back. I don't know if we lost her.
And that would make a quorum. And if Shauna, is that Shauna?
Set up?
Yeah, we just got into the cameras. Has it started yet?
Not officially.
Okay. I thought it had started. The cameras.
We're getting ready to.
Hello?
Hey Georgina, we're about to start the meeting here.
Okay.
Was that not Shauna? All right, but so it's the three of us, so we have a quorum, so I'll start.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, I call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Okay, so Krutik Bhakta,
Present.
Ellen Ayfield, Shona Sandoval, Gabriel Garcia,
Present.
and Georgina Ortigo Angel.
Present.
All right. Okay. Moving on to approval of agenda. It's pretty simple today, so it's pretty straightforward. So unless anybody has any special changes, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda. All right, and I'll second. Roll call.
Georgina Ortigo Angel,
Yes.
Gabriel Garcia,
Yes.
and Krutik Bhakta.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
All right, public input. Do we have any public input today?
I never got anything submitted to me, so.
Okay. And Bill, is it working the same way now that we're actually meeting? As far as public, does people know that they can come to the chambers, or what's happening there?
It's published.
It is published?
Yes.
Okay, so they know that they can sign up and come in now versus.
Well, we're
sending
not
a
doing the
letter.
sign up yet.
Not yet.
Because there's still a limit with people that can be in.
Okay, that's what I was.
So on the notice and on the agenda, when
It's
they
still
read it, it
available,
states
and then
that
you would
they
read
have
it.
to either fax it, email it, or
Okay.
they can hand deliver it to us.
Okay, sounds good. All right, approval of minutes. If there's no discussion on that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Yep.
That was a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
All right, I'll second. Roll call.
Regina Ortega Angel,
Yes.
Kutik Bakta,
Yes.
and Gabriel Garcia.
Yes.
All right, so we're down to business items. The first business item is request approval for funding to provide security during fiestas, 15,000.
Mr. Chair, so this was requested in support of fiestas. I think we'll probably look at this as a budgetary item maybe in the future. We went back, actually there was more money requested, but we went back and looked at
The past, yeah.
past overtime, and it averaged around $15,000. So it's basically just a budget item and not to exceed. And we're still talking about exactly what security is going to be required for fiestas as well. But
Okay. Yeah, I remember it happening in the past. We just, in the past, we've taken care of it in the budget. We just kind of forgot this time around, but that's fine. We can put it in now. And I do seem to remember it seemed to be about 15,000 every year for fiestas for it. So it works for me. That's what the precedent that we've set in the past for that. And Fiesta has been one of the events that brings that money back that's spent.
We're calling it the
Works.
Fiestas now again?
I'm just gonna call it the Fiestas. I don't know what else. It's at the same time. And as far as feedback on that, as far as the my hotels, we are getting booked for the Friday, Saturday. So I know people are coming. I think people have been chomping to get back. So if we have good news on June 1st about no caps, then we won't have to worry about it being a mini fiesta there. But if there's no other discussion, I will entertain a motion to approve.
Up with that.
All right, roll call.
Regina Ortega Angel,
Yes.
Gabriel Garcia,
Yes.
and Kutik Bakta.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
All right, moving on to the gigantic packet, that's request for approval for New Mexico True campaign.
Move up so that you can hear me better. So what you received in your packets is the first part. It just pretty much explains what the New Mexico True is this year. We do a survey prior to the application, and I answered that survey based on a lot of the Lodgers Tax Board's suggestions from the past year. And then they sent us back options to choose based on that. So the first couple pages in the packet are actually information I just kind of wanted to give to you to let you know what we did during the recovery process. So as you know, the last one we did do the video and photo assets. And then now during COVID, we worked with the state and Google. And so what we did is a social and owned media optimization. Basically, what they did is they went in and they helped businesses and organizations and a whole bunch of other places to claim their Google business or organization or whatever it is and help them upgrade it to get recognized more on there. You'll see one that says Google DMO 360 amplification. We're currently working with Google on that to complete, we're doing 360 tours where they could click on certain points, interest points in there and be able to get more information on them. So we have, I think, about 3 or 4 of those that'll be coming up.
And who, once those are completed, because I was gonna ask you about those virtual tours, once they're completed, do we own it from then
Yeah.
on? So,
And Google will have it displayed on theirs.
okay,
as well.
and then we
Yeah.
could keep it for as long, or there's nothing that expires, right?
Right. And then we have some additional 360 digital assets we did ourselves.
So we have those available to
Okay.
use as well.
So those, like those 360 photospheres, and then I'm guessing the virtual tours is using so are they gonna pretty much send out the car again and follow it through the tour?
They already did.
They already did, and
Yeah,
you're gonna
and
put
so
together the
we're
spots?
just filling in the missing pieces that need to be filled in at this time.
Okay.
Like photos when you click on the location or interest point, whatever.
Is there any idea on like which tour or whatnot, or does anybody have idea of what they want to connect?
Yeah,
Or if
so
they're-
Las Vegas first was the original one to start this Google.
Yeah, I heard that was going to be my
360.
next question, is
Yeah.
this going along with?
So then I picked it up to help finish it off. And they had chose four places to do the tours. One of them is Plaza Park, of course. The other one is Story Lake. Another one is the Wildlife Refuge and Pandaray. Those are
Okay.
the four main virtual tours that they'll be doing. And then we now have access to a certain file system so that we can start doing more virtual tours throughout the city.
How about a movie one?
Yeah,
A movie one?
yeah,
too?
that would be cool, actually.
Yeah, the
Really good
movie
one.
spots.
Mhm.
That tends to trend a lot sometimes, especially if the show gets picked up.
Yeah.
And they click through that tour, and so that's a good option. Bill, does your wife do a tour, or she used to do a tour? What was that?
Oh, the Southwest Detour,
Yeah.
she gives
She
tours.
still does.
Yeah.
They're just starting up again.
Yeah, so this
that-
is a start where we could start building all these different types of
In
360
digital,
and
yeah.
virtual tours and stuff like that.
Yeah, and CCHP with that app,
Yeah.
I mean, it could work hand in hand with the points that are already there, and we can link to the Google Virtual Tour, and it works the same way.
Yeah.
Is there a,
Great stuff
can I
there.
look at this app, but like in maybe another town, maybe Santa Fe on my phone right now?
I could show you more or less what it look like.
Yeah.
I can't talk. What it'll look like. This is one of the Plaza Park one. So if you just scroll through, you can see.
Yeah.
Of course, with the Google, it'll have the little things on it for interest points that you click and it pulls up more information.
Yeah, you click on it and
Yeah.
it'll be like,
But that's more or less what it,
Yeah, okay.
how it'll be. Yeah. So it'll circle around with it.
so you circle and then you look at JC's and you just hit JC's and it'll take
And
you
it'll
to
pop up
like, hey,
pictures
this is
and
JC's,
everything. Yeah.
menu, pictures,
Right, yeah.
patio, COVID safe, all that, everything.
Because, and yeah, you could do it for your businesses too, so like all the hotels, they signed up for
Yeah, did you wanna see it?
that photosphere, so if you wanted to see the hotel in 3D, you can have that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then there's different programs we learned about that we can also let the businesses and everybody know so that if you wanted to do them on your own too.
Okay,
So that's the 360. And then content creation, written articles. So during COVID, the state gathered writers from across the entire country, from coast to coast. And they created a team, and that team is what's going to help us to write articles and a whole bunch of things that we need. And if we need help, we can also get help. Strategic Events Recovery Readiness Initiative. That, if you notice, this is initial pilot because that is a pilot program they're bringing out to go alongside with the FY22. Normally, it's just the grant itself for all marketing in general, but they're adding this extra piece to assist events throughout the year with their marketing. So this is going to be coming out soon, so they asked that we try not to put too many events into our main plan because they're going to have this program for the events.
I saw something in there where communities that had the highest levels of economic injury were getting like 2-to-1 versus 1-to-1. Some of these metro, were we one
No,
of
we're
those?
actually one of the
least
ones that
affected?
did, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
how'd they come up with that, through?
Through the lodger's tax
Lodger's
and what
tax?
they earned and how much they lost
Okay.
during the pandemic and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and we actually did pretty good, so we only get the 1-to-1.
Should thank the movies, I think, for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now getting into the FY '22. The first part
Okay.
is basically the overview. Then you get the application, of course, and then in there you have all the different options for the selection. But if you look at the main piece, this is the main one you can select from. We sent it to the marketing team. They sent some information back, and so what I did, and I went through some of them too. So we all kind of went through it, and then I just selected the ones that kind of matched everybody's responses. So in total, it comes out to $139,133. Of course, our portion would come out to $69,566.
I noticed in the packet, you were expecting, like, I guess if we were expecting federal funds, and you put 150,000, are we getting Fed funds?
Oh, they mean funds like from the city or the county or whatever.
Yeah, it was as far as the application you sent to them.
Right, and then it was additional funding that they were asking about that we would have, and that's that 150,000 that you guys had approved at the prayer
Okay,
meeting
so
for
not
overall marketing.
Not from the Fed,
Right, right.
Okay, you may want to correct that on the application then. I mean, I don't know how it impacts, how they evaluate, but,
Yeah, they meant from like lodgers, any government.
was it?
Yeah.
I thought,
I'll
okay.
double check it and make sure.
Yeah, I think it asked if you're
Yeah.
expecting Fed funds.
But that's what
for
that 150,000 is, just to.
Okay,
additional.
okay. All right, so basically what we approved,
The 80,000 is what.
okay,
yeah.
okay. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Is this what you're talking about, this one?
And the questionnaire? Yeah. If you're, oh, okay, they just, my bad, they just said that the federal funds was only as an example.
Yeah.
So you put the city of Las Vegas on there, no, but this is a different question. Where's the 150?
It's right on the next, here on the next line.
If yes, oh yeah, that is incorrect then. So if yes, indicate estimated amount of federal funds available for tourism marketing, so, just to, I was just
Yeah, I'll
wondering if we
double
got
check and
if we
make
got a
sure.
grant or something from, the thing, or if that's, we may
Or is
just,
that the-
we probably just need to move it up to where,
Yeah, we'll just have to move that into the other part.
from the city of Las
Yeah.
Vegas, yeah.
Yeah. And I'll fix that. This application is due now June 1st, so I'll make sure I get that changed. Yeah, so those are the different options, and what we kind of thought. Now, again, we took the advice from the Lodgers Tax Board and filled out the survey based on that, and then they sent us the options back. And based on that, what they sent us back was a lot of digital options, and that's what we were looking at, so I'm really happy about that. But if you look, so the first part, we do have two that are social media. They're really big projects. One of them's like kind of the Google project we're working on now, where they set up, we have it set up throughout the whole year. The posts are automatically just going into Facebook and Instagram. Of course, I have to transfer a lot of those into Twitter manually, but they're getting that. We worked with Google on the whole year to get those done. That's kind of what this one is. It's just running into the next year, making sure we have those going. The second part is all the digital information. So that's like, if you look, there's New Mexico Magazine. That's a digital package with 2 written articles as well. So we get both. And then we did say Instagram and Facebook. If you notice, we didn't really say Twitter because, again, Twitter's a little different, so it's easier to do it manually and have them do the Facebook, Instagram, and then just copy it.
They don't have the same paid ads thing.
Yeah, well, they do, and it works through the program we're using. It's just
Just the
the
way it
transfer
is.
process is a little different, yeah. The Native Article Virtual Tour distribution, so that allows us to get that out even further. the one we were just talking about. Of course, TripAdvisor, we talk about always having at least TripAdvisor or Expedia. I'm not sure, if you guys want to keep that one or switch it, it's up to you.
Well, the key point that I like on those ones, so all the digital ones are great, so at least you get something, so I guess the exposure part is great. It's there, you know that they were on the page, but you don't know if they click through. What I like is, and so that's what, even it had it on the TripAdvisor Expedia, and so for those, they refer them to, instead of just exposure, they refer them as engagement.
Yes,
And even better, clicks on bookings.
yes.
So those two numbers, we can say, hey, they actually clicked on the ad, not just saw the ad. So they were engaged with, oh, it's Las Vegas, New Mexico. They clicked on it, and then the metrics for bookings, that gives you the numbers of heads and beds in, as far as what we were advertising there. So if I were to go through and choose, that's a pretty solid metric on what we'd like or what we'd like to advertise in, especially if we want to know if it's working or not. So I like those over the exposure. Minimum exposure, yeah, we needed the number of counts of, hey, was it on the page? But even better is the engagement and
who
click-through.
engaged,
Yeah,
where they engaged
that's,
from.
those are the
Yeah,
key
and
points.
that's the great thing about that whole digital package is we can do that. Now, you'll notice that, so further down, we have the print and the digital. So, for example, there's New Mexico Magazine, where we do get, it says there are 3 full page, well, no, sorry. 1 full page plus digital. So, we'll get that full page, plus they're gonna put a digital package out with that as well. So we did get some print that are in there, but again, if it's print, it does include digital. It's not just.
Not just print. Yeah.
Yes. And the same, and they always, the good thing about New Mexico Magazine, New Mexico Adventure, Denver, whichever ones, they always send us those end of the year numbers too, so we have those available to us.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the package. I didn't go into billboards because we just got 2 more. And I know we
I think
really wanted
we've-
to focus on digital and get
Yeah,
that video and
yeah, I
photo
think
out,
we've
so.
covered the billboard, unless there's a blow us away billboard that's further out. Yeah, this is what we were, I think this is why, before COVID happened, I think this was some of the excitement too, because, look, even the state of New Mexico's push is the same thing as well. They know it's digital and so on, so, but, it's great that in these packages, for the people that still want some print, but this is the right ratio. The greater ratio is digital, and you have some print. That's the way to do it. We're not eliminating print, but we're maximizing what we can do with our money. And if it's packages like these, and we get reports back, like click-through, and then look, we can use all this information to actually know that these things are working, and we can confidently award even more money than we are versus some of the other stuff we're awarding without proof.
Yeah, and the great thing about this too is not only do we get the information from New Mexico True and the partners involved, but the main website link that goes on all these ads is the Visit Las Vegas, New Mexico. So they're gonna go directly to that website. So we also have all the analytics that rolls through that website as well to add to these, besides just whatever they give us.
So now that this will be starting again, just so I don't have to ask, just every meeting, just put yourself on the agenda so we can have the reports from all these, just feedback on the numbers so we can, not just lodgers tax would know, but if the public was curious on how impactful the New Mexico True marketing is they can see what's happening, all the social media numbers, all these click-through numbers. It would be good to have the report every lodgers meeting.
Yeah, and I could do that. I'll give you on both for the website and the social
Yeah.
media and whatever else comes in.
I really like that idea that we give feedback immediately, on numbers, because then we know if that event is worth our putting on money into it the following year. If it's a reoccurring one, you know what I'm saying? If we don't have the numbers, then why are we continuing to put money into something that's not giving us any feedback, any numbers? So I really like that point that this application is going to be able to give us. We can see instant feedback.
And the good thing too is it also gives you, our analytics anyway, tells us what pages were visited the most. So we know what events have been visited, how many people
Sure.
visited and things like that when it comes to those.
On that digital one, you showed me like we're kind of in the middle of the Plaza Park. Could you like click on the gazebo and then get like a video of like the Spanish dancers and stuff going on, like the fiestas?
I'm not sure about the video. I know you can get
Pictures or
the
just-
pictures.
okay.
Yeah, you'll get the pictures.
Because the gazebo is
information.
definitely a point of interest.
Yeah.
Because a lot of stuff goes, it's
Yeah.
a stage and.
And actually, that's going to be when. So I believe on the plaza, it's the gazebo, the Plaza Hotel, Bridge Street because of the shopping, and there's one other. It may be a film one. I can't remember at this time, but yeah, it will have. And then we can always upgrade them and add more later too.
And also, our movie location is going to be on this?
On that, not at this moment. They already chose the first four for now.
Okay.
But when we do, if we want to continue it, we
The
can,
tour.
yeah, we can create a
Just
plan to
adding
put
to it.
all different types in there.
Okay.
Considering the percentage of it, of part of the lodger's tax they're contributing, we probably, we should have a plan to keep targeting that tourism. If there's going to be filming, I mean, it's just going to pick up more and more.
Movie tourism is
And
a
movie
thing.
tourism is
It's huge. It's huge.
is a thing. I know Albuquerque's gotten a lot of that with Breaking Bad, the Breaking Bad tours. There's been a lot of people staying overnight and eating in Albuquerque just to
I mean,
take
the
a tour.
candy ladies practically.
Right, right.
We're
So-
still getting
Yeah.
Longmire requests through my wife's tour business, so
Yeah.
it's still a hot item.
That's one of the shows, and that's what for conversations for people coming to the hotel. They're like, oh yeah, Longmire. That's been one of the key ones recently. But that conversation leads to go downtown, and that's what the street was in Longmire. Just don't turn around; those mountains aren't there, but the street's there.
It's a different type of. Yeah, and those, with the film, of course, we do have to, we will send that through the film committee, but yeah.
Yeah.
Those are,
Don't
those are
forget.
a lot of options we do have.
Look, even from what I'm seeing, even the times that we're spending on print, I think it's the power of working together, and that's what's hard. So when we're doing print alone, it's really expensive. When we're doing print through here, each one I'm looking at, for the Denver Magazine one, 70,000 circulation, right? For what, 3 pages, and that was $16,000? I mean, that's
And that's not including the digital. I
not,
mean, yeah,
plus
we get-
digital, yeah. I didn't even put the, on the thing, so
Right, yeah.
it's, we again, I mean, in the future, I mean, for this type of stuff, I think we can contribute even more because we have a solid foundation. It's
Yeah.
I mean, Mexico True is well built out. I mean, it's, all the questions I would have are being answered with the presentation, and they've really helped just the framework of it is really helping communities. So for the future, I'm still the thing that we need to contribute even more, and we could buy even more packages, because some of this stuff we're doing on the side anyways, and it doesn't get any cheaper than going through the New Mexico True. We could probably get triple the stuff for it, and so that's something we need to consider. So
Yeah, and it's a well-branded thing that, people recognize, and they're like, oh, New Mexico True, I'm gonna click on that, immediately.
and
Texas
there-
and Arizona has already stolen pieces of the New Mexico True.
New Mexico campaign, and so, but I mean, look, they've by packaging all of us together and selling it, we're getting great deal. I mean, if we try to go out on our own to buy some of this stuff in Denver or so on, they can get this kind of circulation, we wouldn't be getting these prices.
Right.
So which brings me to, I think there was a section, and I think I remember from last year, so did we select and say, hey, these are the areas we're gonna focus on if we're gonna go out of New Mexico, was West Texas and Colorado?
That's one that we did select on the last page, if you look, but if
Last
you
page.
guys feel something different, then we can do that.
Oh.
So right now, we have selected Texas and Denver, Colorado Springs. There's
I'll tell
those
you
two
what,
others, they're they're actually Denver and West Texas, but.
yeah.
Yeah.
We need to climb into Arizona as well. I'll tell you that. So, I mean, I'll try to provide you numbers for us, but snowbirds and everything, I mean, the amount of Arizona travelers crossing New Mexico is insane. So I think we should cover all neighbors. So if we're doing Texas and Colorado, Arizona's right there. We
So
have
what we
that
could
pass
do
through.
is we can adjust this, because if you look at the total, you guys approved 80,000, and that total right now is 69,566. So I could ask them, because I'm pretty sure that, I know they had it last year, and see if they have the Arizona one, and we can add the Arizona one with that additional 10,000 that's left over.
Let's do it. That would be good. And for future ones, and when it comes up again with the marketing committee, I think it would be a good idea to always include those three. I mean, the three states that we're neighboring, we know that they're at least, there's a good portion at least driving through. And there's a demographic there, snowbirds and whatnot, that's certainly driving through. So if we can translate that into them stopping more and staying more, that's what we're trying to do.
Okay, so I'll do that. I'll add the Arizona one with that additional 10,000 we have.
What part of Arizona would you be looking at?
I
What
think-
part of, which cities?
I think they have Phoenix and,
Flagstaff.
You can have it
I
there,
don't think it's Flagstaff. I think
Phoenix and
it's-
Tucson pretty much
Tucson, that's the one.
Phoenix and Tucson pretty much conquers Arizona. So that's, that's, millions there is pretty much the population of Arizona, if you capture those two.
Yeah, so, and I'm pretty sure that's.
And
And I'm
what
sure,
about Texas? What about the cities in Texas? Who are we targeting in there?
Dallas, Texas for this one, and Denver and Colorado Springs. Those are the three.
Okay, so only one in Texas and Dallas, and then Arizona, we're looking at Phoenix and Tucson.
Right. Well, I
Okay.
think it's a combination. It's like the one in the packet where it says Denver, Colorado Springs. They do both.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
Colorado Springs.
Okay.
Yeah,
There was one that said specifically West Texas,
yeah, that's the
That's like
one.
Lubbock,
Yeah, below.
Amarillo.
El Paso.
so is West Texas focusing on Lubbock and Amarillo? Is that what they mean by Texas, or El Paso?
El Paso.
Illinois.
area.
El Paso?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can take a look at for as far as the Texas traffic goes, yeah, there's a lot out of West Texas. Some of it even deeper during the winter. Even for Texas, we're getting some action for ski season and whatnot. And
And just
more of that
people
outdoor
moving
stuff
here.
could be captured, huh?
People moving here.
And people moving in. But we capture some of that traffic heading to Colorado. So if we have good seasons, then Texans don't have to travel as far. They're getting some of the same things that they can get in Colorado here in New Mexico.
And I apologize. It's actually not Dallas, Texas. It's the entirety of Texas, because it's the Texas Monthly, which
Texas
goes
Monthly.
out all over Texas. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, okay. All right.
Good deal.
And if you look those ones, there's one that says OOH Albuquerque, that's the digital boards.
Yeah, so that, on those will, I don't think that they're flipping through, right? Are they, they're not constant, they'll,
Right, that's why we only selected one of them.
okay. How much was that one?
That one was, a total of 6,000, 3,000 on our part,
Okay,
and it's for 6 weeks.
okay. Yeah, I mean, those ones, we've tried it in the past. I know WID had pushed us for a lot more of those in the past, but all we have on that is the traffic count, but we don't have, hey, did you actually,
Yeah.
see our place? But I noticed on some of these others, and that's what I was gonna ask, so I'm glad, so was that was the only, like, virtual, billboard or billboard, right? On these others, because I saw a panel.
Yeah,
and
the
so I was
West
wondering about
Texas
that.
one, that's actually what that is too, but
Okay.
that, we didn't get that one.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, the bottom one, the Denver, Colorado Springs has one too, for 6 weeks.
And that's a digital, okay, so that's what the panel one that I saw.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, again, it's just,
Actually, that's a good question, because my bad, I didn't notice that we did that. So the Denver, Colorado Springs one is 6 weeks, and it's the digital board, and the one above it is the Denver Magazine. So I don't know if you guys want to switch that. It's a Denver Magazine, 3 full-page ads, plus the digital.
plus the digital, and we'll get the metrics in the digital.
Yeah.
It seems to be the better
To switch those two instead.
to switch those. Only because we have some, it's easier for me to see because we have some information on that as far as the digital portion of it.
Yeah.
That we get the numbers. So anytime that's packaged in there, it works out. For the billboards, I don't know. I don't know how we can count that and how that'll translate to people coming here.
Yeah, that's the billboards are really tough.
Yeah.
So.
Even
But-
for some of this print stuff, hey, if we see some of them walking around with these magazines, we know that some of these exposures happened. I mean, it's still not the best answer, but
Yeah, we get some anecdotal stuff like people will be like, "Oh, we saw you in this magazine."
yeah.
But it's not
Look,
like
for hotels, I wouldn't, I mean, the further out I go, billboards are worthless to me. I'm not getting we saw your billboard out in, I used to have as far as Raton and out, but they just didn't seem to be as effective as within 20 miles of town to make that translation. So
I agree,
there's
that's
other
why we didn't
ways to
get-
communicate.
Yeah, we didn't get too many, because I figured having one.
If you
at
think about
every
it, you're
entrance
going
is-
past it, and you're going past it quickly, so if you see it at all, or if it's on the right side, I mean, you're having so it'd have to be something really proven that, okay, this many commuters, when that sign's pounded into their face, that this translates into them coming to New Mexico.
I do like the one like over by Romeroville that's like historic Las Vegas, and it's that Meredith print on the billboard.
Like, people
And
can decide
will be like,
whether,
oh, that's something. There's
Yeah.
actually something to see there.
so what we would have to figure out whether that would be effective in Colorado.
Yeah.
And whether that would translate, or it's effective at.
Right on the spot.
Right on the
so
spot, yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, because we even have one in Wagon Mound, and to be honest with you, I hear more about the ones in the entrances coming into Vegas than I
Yeah.
do any of
Yeah.
the ones going further out.
This is a tangent, but we should, those big blue signs coming into town that say the service is offered and they're completely blank and faded in the sun?
The
Is that-
DOT ones?
Is that the DOT?
Yeah.
And you have to buy ads for those, right? Like
So they go empty because when DOT went private, I mean, not DOT, when the signage company
Oh.
that DOT hired went private, they quintupled the pricing for for putting your anything on them. And so
Gotcha.
they went from being full to a lot of towns being empty, or a lot of poorer towns being empty, because the businesses did not want to pay the
Yeah.
price for it. So
And
that's why you see a lot of
That probably
empty.
goes by the wayside too with TripAdvisor and, people probably already have their, but it just looks bad.
Right?
Which ones?
So when you're
But
coming
we
from
can-
Santa Fe, they're like the blue signs, and they say like food, and it's just blank.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Like food,
yeah,
dining,
food,
lunch,
yeah.
whatever.
Arby's and McDonald's, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, when businesses look at the cost of it, that's why. They used to be full.
Yeah.
And they're looking at the cost, and it's, okay. So if we could make those adjustments versus having the digital thing, I think it would be the smart play for it. I think Arizona's the smart play for the adjustment. I mean, look, this whole package is pretty good. I feel good every time this comes around because it's easy to review, and they make it easy to execute on, so.
Mr. Chair, should that be put in the form of a motion to increase, to add Arizona anyway, up to $10,000 and?
Well,
Okay.
no,
We need to do that?
no, because we had,
budgeted?
yeah, we have extra 10,000 left, because we only.
I think we upped it on the last
61,000.
one.
Okay, since we
And-
budgeted 80.
Yeah, so
is it
it'll
budget?
come out to
Okay.
80. Yeah.
And, I mean, you can, I mean, on the agenda, it's one thing, but, I mean, if you want us to, but I think we've already approved the addition, so if we need the specific, you're not spending it on anything else, so we've already approved the additional 10 for New Mexico True, so I think you can use it the way
Yeah.
you want to.
My question,
Yeah.
how do we, once this thing gets going, how do we shut it down with people's throats?
Well, with the numbers, and so she's gonna report, every time we have the situation or the thing of when we could report, because with us other stuff, we don't have answers, right? Well, we printed 40,000 guides, but we don't know how many, we just know that we gave
They're out
people.
there.
Most of this stuff, 80% plus, is this many people saw it, this many people clicked it, this many people booked a
No,
room.
how do we get them
Um,
to download on their phones? Just like
Oh.
to get people to.
So
to
what
get on
we'll
their
do
phones.
is we'll start putting, like, say it comes out in New Mexico Magazine, or the
Uh-huh,
digital
yeah.
one comes out, we'll start sharing that on all our digital platforms and website and stuff, saying, hey, look, this is Las Vegas or whatever. We also have a monthly newsletter that's been coming out, and we can start putting, that in the bottom, this is what's coming out this month, or look out for this, or,
Do we
whichever.
could there ever be like a QR code campaign thing that you like put at places like at hotels, at restaurants, at
I mean, we can.
people all over the place,
QR
and people
code
just
for it.
click on it and boom, they have that app on their phone. That's why I'm just wondering, how are we gonna get people to get this on their phones?
For the app, you mean that, because most of this stuff, I mean, we're
This-
we're
When you
placing
open
ads.
Facebook,
Yeah.
it should
okay.
come up.
It comes up, so just
Yeah.
for, I mean, really, even the Google stuff is, you don't need the app, it's the virtual tour is just
Yeah.
in your browser,
Okay.
on there, so
Yeah,
it's.
they put it all out, and then we can share all that information so people
Okay.
can see. And we could create a little, like, news and PR page to put everything in there too.
I thought you meant communicating with the public, so they know what this campaign is
Oh, no,
doing.
like getting people to get this
Which
on.
also I think it should be important, so,
Yeah.
we make it happen, you present to us, council, they can get this information, so if the more people can see, because we can provide the numbers with this package, then, the more people will know, look, this is the right way to go about things. I mean, this kind of framework is my target for our own stuff, our own marketing campaign that we would do. For some of that money, this is a good example. If we did our own campaign the same way with the same structure, it gets a lot easier to get behind and understand and approve.
Yeah,
and feel
especially
good
when
about.
it's a lot easier when you have them laid out, real simple
Right.
like that.
Somebody really did a lot of work, so they should,
We've been working on it
kudos.
for what, 5
for a
years?
while, yeah. Ever since it
So-
came out, it's been pretty good. Okay.
And they just mentioned, as a matter of fact, they did do a whole new rebranding, and stuff so that it makes everything easier because I know last year we kept telling them about the Las Vegas and not being able to see and things like that. So they did restructure it and it looks really nice. At your next meeting, I'll present you all the new layout, design and stuff that they're going by.
Okay.
So that you can take a look at that.
Good deal. So, okay, I mean, just to be safe, look, I'll entertain a motion that's for approval that includes the additional 10,000 to cover Arizona in the marketing plan for New Mexico True.
I approve that motion.
Second.
I second it.
Okay, roll call?
Shawna Sandoval,
Yes.
Gabriel Garcia,
Yes.
Georgina Ortega Angel,
Yes,
and Kutik Bakta.
Yes.
And just for the record, that is also with the change from the digital to the print on the the Denver, sorry.
Right. Okay. And there isn't any newer business section there. Just clarification in the future on whether it's part of the Open Meetings Act to have a section for new or other business as a requirement on the agenda. I'm not sure, but if it's not, then that's fine, but.
So the only time we put anything like that is if there's actually something to discuss, because when they're doing the notices, it has to be specific if there is new and other business that you guys are gonna
Oh, so it
discuss.
can't be left blank, huh?
Yeah, we can't leave it
Okay.
blank anymore.
Good clarification. All right.
Is it public input though?
Public input has to be
Or
there,
is that,
yeah.
okay.
Oh, and then, just for the record, Shawna had arrived to the meeting, obviously for voting, it's for the record, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that adjourn to evening.
All right, I'll second. Roll call?
Shawna Sandoval,
Yes.
Gabriel Garcia,
Yes.
Georgina Ortega Angel,
Yes.
and Kutik Bakta.
Yes, meeting adjourned.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to put this on the phone, I just had a bad injury when I was in New York. and
Oh, okay.
It did seem to go away. But thank you again for allowing me to be on the phone.
Yeah, no worries, it worked out.
Okay.
All right.
Well, have a good evening.
All right, bye.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me,
Apparently the governor's at the NAFTA casters.
yeah. Oh, and, let's not compete with the governor next time.
What?
She's competing with us.
She's competing with you, oh, okay, you were referring